Good afternoon everyone, welcome to our auction room here in Tauranga, and of course an environment which is changing all of the time, but my auction activity around Taranaki, Waikato and Bay of Plenty has been very busy. There's been lots of auctions, and there's more to come because our auctions for July, we're 80% up on auction volume for July as opposed to last July. The reason I'm saying this is the media's doing their best to tell us it's something else. I'm not going to try and guess why the market is going as well as it is, but to encourage you that if you find a property that you like, the easiest way to buy it is that you must place a bid. We deal with the cash interest in auctions first of all. If we don't sell a property, then of course we can deal with the conditional parties who have some due diligence to complete. My name's Stephen Shale. I'm filling in for the young chap on the end of that photo slide here, and Robin has finally put a photo up for us to introduce here, so she'll put the bids up on the screen. We do have a live audience, so you people looking through the camera there, you'll see the bids coming through on the computers. We don't have online bidding, so all the bidding must be live or through our telephone bidding registrations, but those parties can view the auction if they are unable to come into the room, or some people who are still uncomfortable with coming into a public meeting forum. And then I'm assisted by Linda, I have Dickie here, and Matt Clutterbuck. They are the respective managers for our divisions with properties up for auction today, and in the event that bidding doesn't reach the reserve price, I'll simply pause the auction, and we're going to give the highest bidder the first opportunity to deal with our owners' expectations. So during that period, of course, the cash interest has the first opportunity. If the property isn't sold, then of course there's no priority right past to that high bidding party. We can open up to all parties, and we've got a number of people hoping these properties won't sell today, and they're the conditional buyers, of course, our sellers, setting some very fair instructions. Now, the rules of engagement there are made available throughout the marketing period on your terms and conditions. As bidders, you need to be familiar with your Overseas Investment Act obligations. In simple terms, you need to be a New Zealand resident or citizen, an Australian or Singaporean of the same, in order to buy on a cash unconditional basis, because outside of those groups, you do need a consent, and it requires a contract to move forward for that stage. Of course, you would have been given the buyer guides from the REAA and satisfied your due diligence, which may include LIM reports or building reports, council file inspections, legal advice to the contract. It is a cash unconditional contract, and of course your finance does need to be in order. We do call for a 10% deposit. That's part payment of the purchase price, which is due today by electronic transfer. So for the successful purchase, we'll give you an assistance in transferring that through. Of course, the conduct of auction, that's in clauses 1 and 2 of the documentation. As I said earlier, I do have a reserve price, and subject to reaching the reserve price, the highest bidder will be declared the purchaser. In the event of a disputed bid, I'll simply go back to the last undisputed bid, or you may want to advance your position if two people are holding the same price value. That's the easiest way to separate yourselves. As the auctioneer, I can place bids on behalf of the seller. A vendor bid is made to maybe start an auction or to bid against a level that the owners will not entertain or consider selling the property at. It's a placeholder, but it must be declared. I'm the only party that can place vendor bids. There's no limit to the number. They just need to be declared for you, sometimes used, sometimes not. You'll be very aware if it's with me, or yourselves, or with someone else on the floor or the phones. With regards to sign the documentation, we'll do that of each individual property. You don't have to wait till the end of today's proceedings if you're buying one of the earlier lots. We've got plenty of rooms here, and the agents will assist with you with forming that contract for you and signing of the documentation. There's a consent to enter into an agreement and so on, just to make sure that everyone is happy. Now, are there any questions with regard to the rules before we proceed? Very compliant and quiet audience, isn't it? It's quite concerning, but let's get underway. Some exciting properties, and we'll make an announcement that the first of those has been sold already, because a very popular property there at Otamoto Road, number 444, and Bayleys, who's not in this room because he's busy working, completed that sale. So first of those properties has been put under contract, unconditional basis, and both parties leave happy. So I'm going to move to lot 2 in the order of sale. Those orders of sale are available as you enter the room here in 55 Campbell Road in Mount Maunganui is the first of those, and the marketing agent Angela and Nick Fleet at my right hand side. We offer you a fee simple estate. We've got a parcel of land of 493 square metres, which is generous from Mount Maunganui proportions. It's legally known as Lot 2. Deposited plan is 498840, and a slip of title reference, record of title number being 739 501. Your chattels list, that remains unchanged. I'll read it to you. The fixed floor coverings, the blinds, the curtains and the light fittings. In the further terms, you'll find all of the extras that you'd expect with a quality home: the automatic garage door opener, the irrigation system, you've got the garden bore, the security lighting, electric blinds, along with the dishwashers. You have two, one heat pump, you've got the integrated ducted heat system, the wall heaters as well. It's going to be a very warm house. Your towel rails, so there's 4 of those, the induction hob. You've also got the self-cleaning wall oven. I won't attempt to read the brand for you. The combination microwave and oven, also the steam oven, and warming drawer. I'm going around there for dinner at this rate too. The range hood, the refrigerator, freezer, which is plumbed for your water, the wine fridge, there's the waste disposal unit, the kitchen strip lighting, and also the dimmers. There's the TV aerial, the sky dish, sparkle, intercom on the front door, and the camera, of course, upstairs. It's not for the door opener. The powder room mirror, TV brackets ×3, and the washing machine taps. Don't forget the small refrigerator in the apartment. And then clause 21, you just need to be aware that the kitchenette downstairs of the property does not have the required council consent, so you're bidding in full knowledge of those bases, so we know comeback or rectification of that fact. You're buying in Campbell Road. You've got a nice central position for the property. Settlement date with vacant possession as fast as the end of July, 31st of July. And it's a property which is easy to live in, isn't it? And I know you've enjoyed marketing the property because you get to spend some time in some quality homes. So good coastal living. Of course, it's built for the entertainers. You can see that in all the extra channels there with the way that the kitchen has been set up with all of those extras. And you've got some flexibility in your layout too. 4 bedrooms in total, 3 living areas for formal and informal family life and entertaining of friends, 3 bathrooms, and of course double garaging, which is important for this location too. I like the way the vaulted ceilings on the back deck, the slide will come up, give you that scale, which gives us extra practicalities in the weather, so you're sheltered, and of course keeps you dry, but also keeps the sun off if you need that. And then what a beautiful comfortable kitchen shot there, the hub of the home, where everything can flow out from there. You can integrate with your family or guests from this space, and of course it's modern and up to the minute. I'm going to go straight to the bidding now. I think you'll appreciate the location and the construction. Who's going to be first to bid? Property, as you'd expect, very popular for those people with houses to sell, but we want to sell it to the cash pay people who are prepared. We'd like to call out a bid. Of course, those that take control of their purchase may have the first opportunity to purchase at our sellers' expectations, as I said. Don't wait for me, folks. Who'd like to start? I'd like to place a bid. If you like the property, I encourage you to put your foot forward, otherwise we'll deal with the conditional parties and you don't get to see those, and our feedback is that it's better to enjoy the transparency of the auction room. Well, I'll kick it off then. I'm going to start at $1,700,000 because it'd be a great buy at that level. We need to be advanced at that price point there at $1,700,000. I'll take a 25 rise from here. Otherwise, we'll set it aside and move to stage 3 of the marketing campaign. At $1,700,000 here, the second request, if you like it, you need to bid here, folks. It's a great property. Final opportunity. Your chance to place a bid. At $1,725,000. Thank you, Sarah. Welcome to the bidding there. And we've got the bidding there to play and an opportunity to talk with the owners there. Anyone bid me 25? Otherwise, we'll pause and talk here. At $1,725,000. Who's got the 1 3/4 for me? First call now. We've got $1,750,000. Second call, the high bid with my start at $1,725,000. Third, final opportunity. All done. All signed. Well, I'm going to talk to you, sir, at $1,725,000. Linda, you've put yourself in the box seat, sir. You're going to be first to know the numbers you need. And if you like those numbers, you're going to buy a property, I would suspect. So Linda will take you through that discussion. While that's happening on a lot too, I'm going to move through to the unrelated properties in our order of sales. So we'll march through to lot 3, the first of the properties by Phil Mangos, the Goss, we call him. And not because he talks too much, but he's just been around a long time. And Phil, you would have been in a number of properties, and this is a beautiful house here. I think you'll appreciate the size and scale of the home, and it also gives you some upside for improvements. I think it's the feedback through the campaign. So that's good when you've got a property of that ilk. You've got a good land size area. It's 7.989 hectares more or less. Of course, it's a feasible estate. Lot 4 in its legal description, deposit plan is 65578, and record of title is volume 52D. folio 857. Your channels list, that remains unchanged. I won't read it to you in full. Another very full list to you on the front page there, but also in the further terms you'll find the balance of the channels right down to the dolphin pool robotic cleaner for you. Good husbandry clause in clause 21 and clause 22. Non-compliance acknowledgement there for building code on the outbuildings, right? So acknowledgement there, and then some other disclosures in 23. So if you're comfortable with the documentation, we encourage you to put your best foot forward. You can be in this property with vacant possession on the 7th of August to suit our sellers' needs. So wonderful property. The elevation gives it a picturesque setting, and you can even see through those windows, it draws your eye. You can see the water into the distance there over the inner harbour there, nice and peaceful with that elevation as well, pushes your neighbours away, and you've got that with the scale of the section, haven't you? Architecturally designed, quality built to about 315 square metres more or less, and open plan living. Lovely Remu highlights there through the flooring and around the trim of the property, just frames those views for you, and of course entertaining areas as well. 3 bedrooms to your accommodation, double bathrooms, double garaging as well as the pool, but don't forget the amenities too. You've got the large shady trees that frame the house with the property. It sits in the middle of the site there, so you're away from the boundaries, but it gives you an opportunity to look over your land because of the way the contour sits for you, and of course suitable for grazing cattle or sheep. You might be calf rearing, milking your own cow, okay, pure milk. You're nodding like that's a normal thing. Of course it is, it's lifestyle, right? So this is what it gives you. And of course, range of shedding opportunities there, lockable and open bays, plus you've got the load-out bays for movement of your stock through there. And of course, you're not far from the township. You've got 14.5 kilometres to Katikati, where the school's got the golf course, bush walks and all those sorts of things. Wonderful property, isn't it? Beautiful place to entertain and live. I'm going to talk to the right-hand side or your left-hand side of the room because there's not many on this other side. So who's going to place an opening bid? Who'd like to start us? We're at lot 3. Lot 2 under negotiation. That party there placed the bid and they're having an opportunity to talk with their owners first. Who'd like to start this one away? Beautiful layout, isn't it? Just see in the summer months there, jumping in that infinity pool. Who'd like to jump into this one? I'll need a bid from the floor here. I won't start this property because Phil's got a good conditional party that's wanting to go to paper after this. So if I don't get a cash call, I'll just deal with those parties following. Final opportunity extended to you. Okay, I'll take your silence as interest in the further property. So Phil is there. No price set, Phil, I take it. You'll deal with the conditional parties, but if people have inquiries, you have to take those? Yes. Yep, maybe you've seen it for the first time, you want to arrange a viewing, you won't be disappointed with that. Okay, now we're going to change now in location, heading to Omanua with Ben Hickson, the first of the sections here. We've separated them out in the order of sale just for the comfort of dealing with our sellers through this process. But the first of the properties we're going to call is Lot 2. It's the smaller of the blocks. It's 1.2974 hectares. And you are which side?
Your side.
My side, so closest to me. Okay, so that's the block we're looking at there. Lot 2, deposit plan is 83332 and record of title number 66A, folio 983. Of course, vacant possession 30 days from today's date, and a bidding on an inclusive GST for the size of the property. This one here again gives you great location. You've got Rotorua and Tauranga to choose between. You're all in the Bay of Plenty, of course, close to the crossing from an amenity point of view. We changed the slide. You've got a regular shape, so it's easy in designing your house plan. I understand the covenants have been made available for those parties with flexibility on the building component of the properties there, so take advantage of those. Of course, if you've got family and children in mind, education, Pies Bar Primary, or maybe Aquinas College, if you're that way inclined, the closest of your education facilities. But this one will give you outstanding rural views. You can see the wonderful mature setting, of course, the farming operation nearby, so you can look and gaze over that without having the burden of the work, but you do have your wonderful good size lifestyle, as I said, almost 1.3 hectares. Let's move to the bidding here on the first one at Lot 2. Who's going to start me on? Same as the previous lot, folks. If you have an interest, I ask you to start again, otherwise we're going to deal with our conditional parties. Your opportunity to start me with yes folks, I'm happy to react. Well, we'll close the property there, maybe waiting for the next offering, and Ben is still here. Ben, I'm going to go to the next property here with Ryan, and I'll come back to you for the second lot. I know that would make sense to carry on, but we won't flip the order for others because they may have making some plans. So Ryan Mulligan has been the marketing agent for the next property in Matua, so one of our most popular areas here in Tauranga, number 7B Tauranga Street in Matua. Great price point, cross lease and fee simple for your land. It is a half share in 794 square metres. That parent title is lot 7, deposit plan is 17172. Your flat 2 on the certificate of title being number 21C folio 636. The fixed floor covering the start your channels list on the front page. If you turn to the further terms, you'll find the automatic garage door opener, the garden shed, also the dishwasher, there's the heat pump and heated towel rails, the stove and the hob, the range of the security system and the washing machine taps are all part of your inclusions here today. There is a purchaser acknowledgement there in clause 21 with regard to what we've got here, a lockable on the inside. There's no key for the ranch slider, so whilst you can lock it and secure it, you can't enter through that way. So that's good from a security point of view. Vacant possession set down 31st of July, so just over a month, 5 weeks from today. So you'll appreciate the hard yards that have been done here and the renovation that's taken place. So another one that you can move into and enjoy everything that Matua has to offer. If it's schooling nearby, then you can take advantage of that. 2 bedrooms for your accommodation. So maybe you already live in Matua and you're coming into a smaller home, or maybe you're starting out on the ladder and you're aspiring to enter into a great area. You certainly won't be buying the most expensive home in the property here, because some of your neighbours have put some extensive work into the capital, but you get to benefit from that. So we encourage you to take advantage of the property. Just take a look at how it opens up into the wonderful land there, very private indeed, and of course with those upgrades, downsizing or upsizing or entering, you get to take advantage of that. Again, as I said, the hard work's been done for you. So a great entertainer, a good pad for you to start out or to slow down. But Matua's got everything that we like doing. Great walking in the location, not too far from town here either. I'll pick up the hammer or call for a request again. We're at lot 5 in the order. Who'd like to place a bid on Matua? Probably had a lot of early interest in the marketing campaign. Looking for a bid for starting. We're in lot 5, madam. I know you just entered the room. If you've got interest in Matua, more than happy to take bids. Final request, folks. Happy to guide you. There's no bid from the floor, Ryan, so we'll set it aside. We won't set an asking price on the property just yet, but please make your interest known to Ryan, because there's been a number of parties once again, particularly showing interest in this property here. So we're still waiting for the response from lot 2. I'm going to move to the second section for Ben Hickson, which is lot 3 at Tauranga Road in Manawa, and it's 1.0961 hectares. It's the further of the lots there. Blurry slides show you there, so that might be our internet. Just advance that through, we might be able to see it. Oh no, we can't. Maybe we go back to the previous offering. Let's just take it back. You can't go backwards? Okay, apologise to our sellers there on that view. We'll try and get the clear. There we go. There's the clear shots there. So again, great location. That hasn't changed. Neither of the covenants, but the position has changed. Got a nice shout about on the outside. So if you prefer this one over the other lot, I'm happy to take your instructions. We had conditional interest in the first offering, and this one here is open to the cash market. Anyone like to place a bid? Similar expectations from our seller. Of course, all of our sellers love to see sold stickers going up on auction day. Anyone like to start? Now again, Ben, we'll hand it back to you. You still have the pair involved, so if you've got a house to sell or plans to draw, you've got the time to do that with your due diligence. Okay, one final new offering for you before we head back to lot 2, and full Magos is the marketing agent once again at 1488 State Highway 29 in Tauranga. Another beautiful property, of course, in a fee simple estate set on a good sized parcel once again, 1.222, 6 hectares of land. Legally known as Lot 1, deposit plan is 91193, and a record of title being volume 72A, folio 834 from the South Auckland Land Registry once again. Your fixed floor coverings and light fittings are part of your inclusions, along with your drapes. You have the laundry tub, the garden shed, there's the range hood, the wall oven and the dishwasher, there's the heated towel rails, the HRV system, the hob, which is electric, the automatic garage door opener with its key remotes, the water pump with the UV and filter. Vacant possession this time, 18th of September, so you've got a little bit further time to pack your own house before you change your lifestyle and head into this place here. Another one that enjoys an idyllic setting there. It's a mature setting too, so sometimes we contemplate building as we did in the previous lots there, or you can buy the mature setting here, and you couldn't create this yourself because it's one of nature's best. So covering about 1.2 hectares of the lush bush, elevated, the home just over 200 square metres in its size. It's been beautifully presented to you. 3 bedrooms for your accommodation. You can see the use of wood, initial Lockwood home, initial. So my beach house was initial, and of course they stand the test of time. So natural timber in there. You've got to like the timber, of course, to be in here, or you can change it. So I don't want to offend the wood lovers, but they equally look just as grand with the sark look through the timber. But beautifully presented. It suits its environment. It's got a wonderful treed outlook there, but it's all about privacy and I guess the zen. So if you can be as relaxed as Phil is in his business life, maybe it's because you're living in these environments too. So lush lawn, you've got the avocado trees, the fruit trees, room for grazing, and even the chooks there, so it is the good life here too. From the point of view of location, 10 minutes into the crossing, handy to McLaren's Falls Park, you've got the bushwalks, you've got the golf course, and of course back into the links into the city. I'm going to look for an opening bid here on the final offering today at Lot 7. Who's going to start me away? The agents are going to be very busy this afternoon writing those conditional contracts. Who'd like to be the cash interest here? Your chance to go first. Once again, if I don't get a start from the floor, we'll set it aside. I'll put the hammer down. So lots of online viewing here today, which are going to be pleased with the results so far. I'm just going to take a pause while I wait for Linda to return on Lot 2. As I said at the outset, the market's been very busy. Lots of activity, and the clearance rates post the COVID lockdown is actually higher than the clearance rates at the start. So today, not a fair indication of what's actually happening in the marketplace. Just take a brief pause, folks. We'll be back with you soon.